Good day and welcome to this special video recording of If Walls Could Talk. I'm John Wyatt, editor of Walls and Ceilings magazine. And today joining me is Mr. Leah Marchessault, and next to him is Tony Goulet. So, Leo, you are the COO of Optiline, correct?
That is correct.
And Tony, you are pre-construction director. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. These guys from Optiline came down from New England. Tell us who you are, where you're located, just some quick bio information on the company.
Sure. So Optiline Enterprises is headquartered in Nashua, New Hampshire, up in the New England area. Founded by owners Tommy Bolduck and Mick Bolduck in 2012. Two cousins joined together, wanted to make drywall great again at that point, right? So they each had a special niche. Tommy and his multifamily, Mick and his, commercial drywall. So they banded together. I joined a few years later, and essentially we've grown, from $1 million organization to, last year, 113 million. So we've, in that short period of time, a lot of growth, and basically our mission, provide a positive impact to people in construction through opportunity. And we essentially are all about the people, our workers, our clients, our core values between family, innovation, integrity, dependable. It kind of is the core of what we do. So it really embodies that. So it's, great organization, very employee oriented, and that's what we're about.
All the key positive adjectives that we love, right?
Absolutely.
So you mentioned the word growth a couple times, so let's talk about that, because recently Optiline has announced some, what I consider considerable growth. Tell me about what markets you're going to enter, why you chose to enter them.
Sure. So, ownership decided, we're growing pretty big in New England market. Got a good portion of the market share, so we had to expand. So we started talking to our clients. A lot of them were in other markets, and they were kind of sort of asking us, hey, why don't you come down here? We could, we want to see the Optiline service down here. So the decision was to try to replicate what we've done in New England in these other markets. So currently we've got an office in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got a couple projects ongoing there. We're entering the Charlotte, North Carolina market. We've signed a couple contracts there, so we've got an office over there. We're actively looking in Florida as well. So we're really, a lot of we're following our current clients, but also looking to build those relationships with new clients in the market.
That's pretty much a direct line down the Eastern Coast. So
Correct.
basically from New England down to the Mid-Atlantic, and then, aspirations in Florida. That's very progressive and very forward-thinking. So, guys, for other subcontractors listening to what you have to say about entering new markets, what are the challenges there?
For us, it's I think the biggest challenge is probably the unknown, right? We're venturing it. We feel like explorers. At first, before we started in our first job in Nashville, there was a lot of unknown. We didn't know what to expect. Some of the challenges we thought we were going to face, which was like manpower, stuff like that, and just, getting to know the market. But it's just like anything else. You kind of, you take one step at a time, figure it out. I think what really helped us overcome that is we have team members that are, looking for opportunity. I mean, our mission is providing that positive impact.
Sure.
And, we communicated with the team, the field, office, everything. And next thing you know, we had a lot of people that are looking for that opportunity. They want that promotion. They want to, better themselves. So all of a sudden we have a list of people that are looking to join us in this mission. So we're kind of putting our heads together. So it really takes away that fear of the unknown a little bit, because now versus one or two people trying to figure this out, we've got an army of teammates that are trying to make this happen. I think a lot of it is just the logistics, building those new relationships, but it's not really much different than what we've done in the past. You just have to have that team behind you to really make that bold move and have that confidence to, enter in a new market and just make it happen.
So would you say attending a show like this, and we're at Build 25 here, is that part of the education process? Does that help you network with perhaps some of the competition or just people from around the country to to get a pulse on what their ideas
Yeah,
are.
from my perspective, I think it's great to build new relationships. We're all in this together. We might get to talk to them, meet new people. So I think it exposes us to what else is out there. I know Tony's been to these events numerous times, so he's the one that kind of pushed us this direction, right? Like, hey, you got to go to this event. This is a pretty cool thing, and and he understands the path we're trying to go. So
Yeah, I think it gives us an opportunity to not only network with, potential competitors, but also learn from one another. Come down here and speak with so many representatives of manufacturers that we deal with every day, and really educate ourselves, in the future of the business. Whether it's in technology, new products, spending time and kind of building relationships. And I think, on the other side, we have client relationships, and we have our consumer relationships as well that we have to maintain.
Excellent. So not just the distribution, but this gives you this keeps you up to date on what the new product and technology is, right? So yeah, everyone I think can benefit from that. So beyond the show and the expansion, what's some other company news you want to share with us?
One of the things I was going to bring up was Tony Goulet adding to our team. He brings a wealth of knowledge. He's been in the industry for years. So when we met Tony, we're like, it was an instant, like, it was like we feel like I've known him forever, but it's been a short period of time. So I think that's probably for me the biggest news is adding that talent to our organization, and just kind of part of the plan.
So Tony, when did you start?
I think it's been 6 or 7 weeks ago. Yeah, so it's a relatively new addition.
So you got the baptism of fire, right?
I did, and yeah. So it's been a great experience, and likewise, it was a great few meetings that we had. We really clicked with ownership and Leo and the other members of the team, and just seeing their vision and wanting to be part of that and adding in any way I can, really, and the teamwork and the development of the client relationships. It's really a little old school, handshakes and treat your clients well, and then they'll treat you well.
Well, you're certainly entering at an interesting time, so it's got to be very much exciting, as Leo here chatted about the growth opportunities the Optiline is experiencing, and you're going to be a part of that. So on that note, listen, final question is, what is your guys' outlook for the rest of the year?
So far, our backlog's pretty good. We're staying optimistic. There's a lot of uncertainty, but there's been in the past, 5 or 6 years. So it's just status quo if you think about it, right? We're all in it together. So it's kind of like, all right, well, let's see how this plays out. But, I think especially like the multifamily sector, that's a really strong market right now. We've always tried to diversify and the good thing about drywall, there's always, whether it's renovations, new construction, there's always drywall, right? So it's a good place. Part of our growth plan is, the ownership asked, they're like, hey, we want to do 10X. We want to be $1 billion company. So that's like, and they announced that and they shared that. So it's like, okay, now it's real, right? So now we're all, and to see the organization really take that in and accept it and like it and thrive in it, you attract talent that, wants to do great things. But I think, the energy that we get from our team really helps push us. It gives us that self-confidence that, what, we got this, because we got this. We're all doing this together.
Mm-hmm. Certainly an exciting time for Optiline. Guys, that is excellent news. I'm excited for you. So we do need to touch base here 1 year from now, because I want to basically an update. I want to see how a lot of these plans have gone.
Sure. Like,
what were the challenges? What were the successes? I'm sure there's a lot to share. So
Absolutely.
So again, on that note, I've been speaking with Leo Marchessault and Tony Goulet. They are of Optiline up in New Hampshire, and it's been my pleasure speaking with both of you. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Thank you.